Hey there, baseball fans. Brandon Hall from Prep Baseball of North Carolina back with you another edition of taking a look at what we saw this week. Wednesday night, I had a chance to go see two playoff-bound teams with Christ the King visited Charlotte Catholic. Really good game back and forth. Final 6-4. Christ the King takes the win. Two big innings for Christ the King. They score three in the fourth and then again three in the seventh. Charlotte Christian tried to battle back, had the tying run on base in the seventh when the final out was made. Dive into both teams a little bit. Christ the King, a team that's in the 1A, going to be in the 1A West, probably looking at about a 3 seed according to their coaching staff. Probably a dangerous team in that 1A level. They've got Owen Shipman as their ace. Owen played second on this night. Threw a right-hander, Ryan Collin, threw a ton of strikes, kept Charlotte Catholic off balance throughout the night. Ossie wasn't overpowering, spun a little breaking ball, just a little change of pace into the zone, located down, located away, got a little bit of help with the umpires at times, but he really bought that help. He pounded the glove, and eventually got the umpire on his side, just got in that habit, going to raise that right hand, bang, 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 and all of a sudden, the Catholic guys were in a little bit of trouble just in terms of managing the count. He worked a really good game here. Working 6 full innings. He actually pitched into the seventh a little bit, throwing 83 pitches, 46 for strikes. And then they went to Brock Miller, sophomore right-hander with 72, 73. Again, strike thrower. And so we're looking at what could happen as we get into the playoffs with a 1A group. They've got an ace. They've got a guy they can lean on, but then they've got strike throwers behind it. And they caught the ball at a pretty high level on the night. Shortstop Dominic Ramada is a senior. Plays with pace, plays with energy, caught the ball with some ease. Moving to the next level, probably a little bit more of a right side of the field guy, but he understands his arm and he's able to kind of get his feet moving through all that stuff and play through that. Played really well at short on this date. In center field, C.J. Wilson did a good job patrolling gap to gap. They played with some heavy shifts at times, but a lot of times were straight up, and he tracked down some balls. Not a blazer, but turned his first step into a really good step several times, eliminating some balls, had a chance to get into the gap. Standout offensively was third baseman Patrick Walsh, junior left-handed hitter. High hands, kind of sits in his base a little bit, relaxes his hands into his load. The load was a little choppy for me, but he got to the same spot over and over and over. First at bat, left on left against Catholic's Mason Child, left-hander going to Wilmington, was a poor at bat. He gave up on a pitch and rolled it over to the second baseman. But from then on out, he was a tough out. Got a next at bat, doubled off the pull side wall off of Child. His next at bat facing Duke commit Jack Hedrick, got intentionally walked. His next at bat facing another senior right-hander, Brody Roderick, who's I think going to Sewanee or Southern Wesleyan. You have to correct me on that. But again, another right-handed pitcher, another guy's going to go pitch in college, and he banged him off the left center field wall. So there's strength in there. The bat speed's going to continue to get better. There's balance. There's feel for the barrel. There's head discipline. And then at third base, he made routine play routinely. And so, again, it's Christ the King, fun team to watch. I do think they'll be a dangerous team as we get into the 1A playoffs. Charlotte Catholic, on the other hand, gearing up for conference tournament next week. This was their last game prior to the conference tournament. Senior-laden team, threw 3 seniors on the night and then closed with Dylan Kelleher. Dylan, I think, is a junior. So, again, older guys playing. Left side of the infield is where they're a little young. Alex Hoffman's a sophomore playing third base. Their shortstop is Gournay. Let me get that name right as I'm trying to pronounce it. Cooper Gournay is a sophomore. And there were some plays that probably should have been made, and it'll be interesting to see how those guys grow up that experience on this night as they get ready for a conference tournament. But the lineup has seniors in it. There's a senior behind the plate. There's a senior in center field. There's a senior at first base. And they're going to roll out some older guys on the bump. Mason Child started the game, senior committed to Wilmington. 83-86 with a slider at 73-76. He's I think at the next level he's a change of pace guy. The guy's going to follow some of the power arms that Wilmington may have, locate, sink, try to get guys back off balance and come back in with power guy behind him. For a high school guy, if he throws the fastball to both sides of the plate, he's dangerous. And the breaking ball has a chance to get really good hitters out. So, he threw okay, got himself in some trouble there as we got into the fourth. Runners on second and third. I think they had one run in, and they brought in Hedrick. Hedrick's one of those names that popped up for us. Top prospect games, was invited to our pro case. Long, lanky, big arm, kind of come on here late. Duke did a good job in committing him. And when he came in, the ball was getting out of his hand a little bit. I was down the side kind of watching some other things. When I went back into the next inning, he was 85, 87 until he got into some trouble. So I'm guessing when he first came in, he was probably going with a little bit better fastball. When he got into some trouble, we saw 90s, we saw 91s, and with 2 strikes on 3 separate occasions, he went and got 92 with ride, blowing the ball past guys. So that's there. There's a good feel for breaking ball. The more he threw, the more he located. The rhythm got better, which is typical with bigger guys. Really liked what Jack was able to do. He got those 2 quick outs with runners on second and third in the fourth when he came in, and then a lazy ground ball got through the infield. It was just a really good at bat. Scores 2 more, gives Christ the King 3-0 lead. Charlotte Catholic scores 1 in the bottom. And then they get 1 more in the 6th, make it 3-2. And in the 7th, again, off of at this point, Roderick's in there, and command wasn't great. I thought Christ the King did a really good job of trying to force him to locate secondary pitches and being on time for fastball. They had some seeing eye ground balls, they had a seeing eye fly ball, but they have the lead, and that type of stuff takes over. So they increase the lead at that point, 6-3, and hold on for the win. We talked a little bit on the Christ the King guys. Owen Shipman played second base, a little bit more, obviously a featured arm and not necessarily an infielder moving forward. Dominic Ramada, Patrick Walsh, Jackson Arrett was behind the plate, had a double to right field on a breaking ball down, did a good job with 2 strikes in that at bat. We talked about C.J. Wilson kind of controlling the outfield. We move over to Catholic. Evan McIntyre is going to Indiana as a senior in center field. The speed tool played at a fairly fast level, very balanced in the box. I thought the swing got a little bit long at times in positive counts against below average velocity. And you can understand young hitters wanting to do that, wanting to try to create something. But when he was pressed a little bit later in the game and gotten some negative counts, he stayed a little bit short of the ball, a little bit better contact there. We talked about Mason Chow, Cooper Gournay. I liked Cooper. During in and out, he caught every ball. Really simple hands, simple feet, simple funnel and exchange. Showed at least average carry across the infield with some accuracy. The actions play better at him and to his left than they necessarily do to his right, but that may just be something with age. Then in the box, he's balanced. It's simple. It's very direct. There's barrel feel. I thought Cooper was a guy that kind of mark and kind of follow as we go into the summer and into the next fall. John McKillop's a bat we've known, future games guy with us, Team Carolina 2 years ago. He rang the wall to the pull side. He rang the wall to the opposite field gap. The bat's got a chance to play. I think he's an Army commit. He's going to have a chance. That bat's got a chance to play early when he gets there. He does a really good job of making adjustments even inside the at-bat, understanding how pitchers are trying to attack him. Another thing I enjoyed seeing is John's continued to get better at first base. What may have been a minus 2 years ago, and you're really trying to say, okay, is that going to develop? There's still some roughness. There's still some polish that's needed, but his footwork's better. His glove works better. And so you're seeing, that he's gotten better in this last year at first base. And so you can kind of project he could continue to get better. And so that going to give him a few more options at that next level trying to get in the lineup. But he's a guy in the 4A tournament that I think teams are going to obviously have marked. Try not to let this guy beat you. But he's got some weapons around him in the lineup as well. Dylan Kelleher was a junior that came in and through the last, through the last 2/3 of the game, getting 2 strikeouts, strike thrower. Has not pitched a ton, apparently. Was 82-84 with a top-to-bottom breaking ball at 70-71. Was an intriguing look. Obviously, we want velocity to be better, but it's clean. It was easy. He's locating. He's throwing strikes, and it's still young on the mound. So, mark that name down. May see a jump out of him. Looking forward to the rest of the week. On Friday, I'm going to be at Huff and Hopewell. Chance to see Tyler Baird, chance to see Hopewell again. And then as we get into next week, we get into conference tournaments. So text us and email us if you guys have conference tournaments. We're going to have two games at one site. We get a chance to see 4 teams. Text me, email me, because that's going to be it's going to be one of our priorities. We can take one trip and see 2 games. Always something that excites us and allows us to see more players in a condensed version. So until the next time, we'll see you at the field.